And there it is! From the conservative brief, GOP lawmakers says Taliban holding Americans hostage while preventing planes from leaving country. The ranking Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee said Sunday that the Taliban were holding Americans hostage by preventing them from leaving aboard a half-dozen planes that are ready for departure because they, quote, want something, end quote, in return. We have 6 airplanes at Mazar-Sharif Airport. 6 airplanes with American citizens on them as I speak, also with these interpreters. And the Taliban is holding them hostage for demands right now, said Texas Republican Representative Michael McCall. State has cleared these flights and the Taliban will not let them leave the airport.
Since we left the country on Friday, how many Americans have gotten out of Afghanistan since we pulled out? How many Afghan allies have gotten out since the Taliban was in complete control of the country?
I understand. 0.
On Friday. Let's see, Saturday, Sunday, 2 days.
State has cleared these flights, and the Taliban will not let them leave the airport. So I'm sorry, the answer to your question is 0. And that's my concern, is they're going to demand more and more, whether it be cash or legitimacy, as the government of Afghanistan.
Hostages taken in 2 days.
Let me pick up on this because I didn't know this. You're saying that there are Americans on airplanes ready to fly out of Afghanistan right now, and they're not being allowed out because Taliban is making demands.
Oh, Chris, it's not just demands from the terrorist organization that now has more munitions than the country of Luxembourg, courtesy of the U.S. government. It's the actual United States State Department that's not allowing people to leave. From Fox News, State Department blocking private rescue flights from leaving Afghanistan. Americans engaged in the rescue of U.S. citizens, SIVs, and green card holders left behind by President Biden in Afghanistan are horrified by what they describe as inexplicable delays from the State Department that are preventing the evacuation flights from leaving the country. Rick Clay, who runs the private rescue group Plan B, told Fox News that the State Department is the only thing preventing the flights he's organizing from leaving Afghanistan. And 2 other American individuals separately involved in evacuation efforts, whom Fox News is not naming to avoid jeopardizing ongoing rescue efforts. The fact that Fox News has to qualify with that statement to keep people safe left behind by the Biden administration who are trying to be privately rescued is unconscionable. Similarly said that the State Department is the sole entity preventing their charter flights from leaving Afghanistan. This is zero place to be negotiating with American lives. If one life is lost as the result of this, the blood is on the White House's hands. The blood is on their hands. It's not the Taliban that is holding this up, as much as it sickens me to say that. It's the United States government. I'm going to try to get through the rest of this report. But not only is the Taliban holding U.S. citizens and green card holders hostage and the State Department blocking citizens from returning home, but a U.S. Marine on the ground in Kabul says the Biden administration filled planes with unvetted Afghans. Those with papers were left behind, confirmed by the New York Times. On Saturday, the New York Times published an article that suggests this was the case. The U.S. was not vetting refugees at Kabul airport. Security vetting of refugees was done in hours or days rather than months or years. The total number of evacuees and where they are currently waiting is not clear. Though Mr. Biden, you damn right it's Mr. Biden, said Tuesday that more than 120,000 had been evacuated. As of Friday, Alejandro Mayorkas said about 40,000 people had arrived in the United States at airports near Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. And officials expect about 17,000 more to arrive by next Friday. But wait, there's more! This is the worst infomercial of all time. From the Washington Free Beacon, as Taliban grounds planes out of Afghanistan, Biden administration says there's little it can do. This is like a bad dream. The State Department says there is little it can do to help Americans and at-risk Afghans whose planes are reportedly grounded at the airport as the Taliban prevents them from leaving the country. Quote, we do not have personnel on the ground. Because you freaking left! We do not have air assets in the country. Yeah, because they're flying them right now. And we do not control airspace, whether over Afghanistan or elsewhere in the region. I mean, look, guys, their hands are tied. They got a lot going on. They got a lot on their plate, all right? We understand the concern that many people are feeling as they try to facilitate further charter and other passage out of Afghanistan. But guys, at least they have empathy for U.S. citizens and Afghan allies who are running scared from the Taliban, who are hunting them down door to door as we speak. They are, after all, the party of compassion and unity. If that's still not enough, according to Jack Posobiec, there is zero chatter in the White House about getting American citizens out of Afghanistan. A White House official says, quote, they're acting like they're not even there. You're actively blocking U.S. citizens from coming home, and a White House official says you're acting like they're not even there. Your number one job that you gave an oath to the Constitution to uphold is to literally keep your citizens safe. And not only are you not keeping them safe by not going out there to go get them, but you're allowing Taliban terrorists to hold them as hostages. Listen, come here. Okay, Biden voters, I know you're in the minority in this country, but there is no possible chance you are proud of your vote for this man. There's none. But according to the Daily Mail, 20% of you regret voting for him and want your vote back. More males regretted their vote than females, as did more minorities than white people. Young voters regretted their vote for Joe more than older ones. 3 in 10 Republicans who voted for Biden do. And this poll was conducted even before the fall of Afghanistan. And I would say there's no possible chance it's 20%. It's way higher than that. This is crimes against humanity of the highest order. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Head over to my locals page, which is the first link in the description, so we can talk about how to end this nightmare.